So in the earlier video, we have seen the vibration or the longitudinal vibration in a rod or a bar, but that was the Newton's approach where we did force balance and got the equation of motion. That was the wave equation. Now we'll use the energy approach or the Lagrangian approach. So let's start with it. So first we write the expression for kinetic energy, then we write the expression for potential energy. So over here, the potential energy, earlier we used to have spring mass damper system, and the potential energy was coming from the springs, the spring energy which is stored. But right now there are no springs as such which we can see in a rod or a bar or a string. So the potential energy is actually the strain energy which is coming after we are going to deform the rod. There is an internal strain energy which is stored in it, which will lead it to come back to its original position, given some conditions that it is not extensively strained. So it can come back. That is the strain energy or the potential energy. Here is the expression. I have just changed the sigma to EA epsilon, and I have written epsilon x is equal to dy by dx. So let's write the Lagrangian, which is kinetic energy minus potential energy. This is the same approach which we have done for transverse vibration, and in earlier also all the continuous systems also, even multi-degree of freedom system sometimes. So this is the same. This is the action integral. I have substituted the Lagrangian here over here, and I have got this equation. So this is the direct result which I am indicating right now. From here, this is the direct result. So let's look at all the things. So we'll get three terms. The first term is 0 because delta x at t1 and t2 are 0. This is another boundary condition which will give me delta x at L is equal to 0, delta x at 0, delta x at 0 is equal to 0, or the EAY of x or del y by del x is 0 at L or is 0 at 0, x is equal to 0 position. And this is the final equation of motion which is of use. So since we are equating this to 0 and this is also going to 0, that means that the third term is also 0, and the third term is 0 means the integrand is 0. Integrand is 0, that means the internal part is 0. And if I am going to open it up, this is same as what we had earlier. uh, so I can expand this and get, so this is over here EA del square u del square y by del x square. Y displacement is a bit misleading, so it is actually the x displacement in x direction. So we'll write as u del x square is equal to EA rho a. This is del square u again instead of instead of y, and the denominator will be twice differential of time. So this is the same equation. Then we took area as common and divided this over here, and then divide this as c square. So that's the whole purpose. So we have got the same equation as we got for the Newton's approach also. Using the energy approach and Newton's approach, the equations are matching. But what's the extra advantage is we are getting some other conditions. So these are the boundary conditions and initial conditions which are useful to us, and let's come to those. So the force or displacement boundary condition, which, so force boundary condition or displacement boundary condition should be there as per the inference from this. So this was the force and this was the displacement. Force into displacement was work also, I explained earlier. So we cannot have both the boundary conditions simultaneously at the same node. So the force boundary condition at x is equal to 0 means this is the expression EA del u by del x at 0 comma t is 0. Displacement at x is equal to 0 will be u of x 0 comma t is 0, and similarly with x is equal to L. So let's look at one of the condition where we have a free end, a cantilever beam, and the other side is not applied with any force. So at x is equal to 0, I have a geometric boundary condition that the displacement will always be 0 because it is cantilever beam. And on the right hand side, or at x equal to L, I have my force equal to 0. That means my external force is equal to 0. So internally it can have some reaction force, and then it can vibrate, and it is free to vibrate. So The displacement, I cannot say anything about the displacement at x equal to a, but I can definitely say since it is a free end, my force is equal to 0. This is the expression in which the force is 0. Since Young's modulus and area are cannot be 0, the strain del u by del x is 0. So we have got the equations and the boundary conditions. So we have discussed the boundary conditions also. We can either have the geometric boundary condition or the force boundary condition. Geometric means the displacement boundary condition. So at this point we had force, and at this point we had a displacement boundary condition. Now we'll end. In the next video, we'll look at the solution to the second order differential equation which we have got. And let's stop over here. Thank you.